Crash out incoming. 3, 2, 1. Burn! Hey, nice pass right there. Jackass! Burn! We're bumbling, we're stumbling, and we're fumbling! Burn! Y'all see what they've been doing over there at Cracker Barrel, man? It's a travesty! But it looks like they added one new item. It's French toast. Butter pecan! Burn! Angel Reese! Angel Reese!
Instincts just put belt to ass on Angel Reese and the Chicago Sky. Sonia Citron was out there cooking with hot grease. Stir the pot. Stir the pot. Keep cooking, Sonia. That was a show. She put on a flat-out show versus Angel Reese in the Chicago Sky. Boy, did they ruin Angel Reese.
Serious talk. This has turned into one of the wildest endorsement flops we've seen in years. Reebok, under Shaquille O'Neal's leadership, actually thought Angel Reese could be the face of their basketball revival. And what happened? A train wreck that deserves its own Harvard Business School lecture on how not to run a comeback. While Caitlin Clark is rewriting record books with sold-out arenas and Sophie Cunningham is winning hearts just by being raw and fearless, Angel Reese is trending for all the wrong reasons. The buzz isn't about dominance. It's about disaster. Insiders are even whispering that this deal could be remembered as the sneaker world's biggest faceplant since the new Coke fiasco. Let's keep it real. This isn't just a bad signing. It's a full-on endorsement meltdown. If you think Reebok should cut their losses, drop it in the comments. Fire the baby giraffe. And here's the cold reality. Every time Ree hits the court, people aren't expecting greatness. They're waiting to see how many layups she'll miss. We're talking about a 63 pro shooting a brutal 31, 5% on layups, the easiest shot in the game while ranking third in total attempts. That's not just inefficient. It's embarrassing.
Daters laughing at this.
Washington has done that incredibly well so far. Reese missed the first one, still with it blocked.
They realized that they were laughing and then quickly stopped themselves. Like, oh, I can't laugh. I'm live right now. I can't laugh. I'm live right now. Let me. A
middle school coach would have benched a player for less, and Ree is turning it into a spectacle. Meanwhile, Caitlin Clark is casually pulling up from the logo, smashing records and transforming arenas into electric sellouts. The contrast couldn't be more brutal. One's building a legacy, the other's drowning in hype that never delivers. The bloopers are writing themselves at this point. Against the New York Liberty, Angel Reese delivered a moment straight out of a comedy reel. 4 straight missed putbacks in just 12 seconds. 2 of them got smacked right back into her face, like she was hooping against a brick wall.
To grow Reebok and have people wear it again because no one does. So one of his genius decisions was this. Fucking signing her, Angel Reese. If you don't know who she is, she's the queen of fish out of water going after a rebound that she shot herself and can get in the net ever. She reminds me of a 3-year-old shooting on those little kids' nets and throwing the ball and just completely.
The clip went viral instantly. Not the kind of viral that moves sneakers, but the kind that ends up on YouTube compilations with clown music blasting in the background. While Caitlin Clark is pulling logo threes and getting compared to Steph Curry and LeBron James, Ree is starring in videos titled When Basketball Isn't Your Calling. One player is selling out arenas. The other is selling memes. That contrast couldn't be louder. And let's kill the excuse some of her defenders are clinging to. Yes, her field goal percentage sits at 4%.
Bravado once again got their ass kicked. Angel Reese was so bad last night, the announcers calling the game, they were laughing at her performance. Check out some highlights for yourself. Well, KC, you always do this. You select a couple of bad plays and try to convince us that Angel Reese isn't a super.
But that number doesn't tell the whole story. Most of her shots come right at the rim where pros are supposed to cash in at 70 to 80%. Reese has turned automatic layups into a slot machine spin. Pull the lever, cross your fingers, and pray it drops. More often than not, it doesn't. Coaches call the paint the money area. She's turned it into a casino where the house always wins. No wonder Reebok's investment is looking more like a highs-takes gamble gone wrong. And it gets worse. Even commentators who are trained to hype free throws like they're game winners can't keep a straight face anymore after another shocking Reese miss at the rim.
Stop it. There's a dude on the internet who cracks me up. On TikTok. He's put together a load of Angel Reese clips. And it'll say Angel Reese part 36. And it goes, Angel Reese going up for another layup. She misses. Bang! And I mean, dude, it's the funniest. And my whole thing is this, dude. She just seems as uncoordinated as a baby giraffe. Yeah, I mean.
One announcer literally chuckled live on air. Not the friendly, she'll bounce back type laugh, but the stunned, did that really just happen? Laugh. When professional broadcasters are laughing at your game instead of hyping it, that's not just a red flag. That a giant neon billboard outside Reebok, HQ flashing in bold letters, "We messed up," social media, is eating this up like it's a buffet. Entire accounts are now dedicated to nothing but Angel Reese's misses. Slow motion replays, clown horns, circus soundtracks, the whole package. It's no longer basketball highlights. It's a blooper genre all by itself. And for Reebok, who signed her to create highlight reels that sell sneakers.
This was an epic embarrassment, bro. Remember, this is a pro basketball player. Won a national championship. Their calling card they'd like to hang over is she beat Caitlin Clark. Remember that. Watch this.
Also into this, Angel Reese picks it up, what she's good at. Getting another offensive rebound. She says, give me that. How about another? Persistence trying to pay off. Jones gets a piece. Angel Reese won't give up. Jones with another block.
All they're getting is humiliation reels that sell memes. That doesn't move sneakers. It moves Reebok execs closer to updating their resumes. Because if Reese were at least helping a winning squad, maybe some of this could slide under the radar. But the Chicago Sky, they're collapsing in real time, sitting at a brutal 7-2 record, riding an 8-game losing streak, already dead in the playoff race.
What happened to Miss Angel Reese? She's all in Indiana during All-Star, and her Reebok campaign come to.
And when Reese missed 5 games with a back injury, Chicago still couldn't buy a win. Here's the ugly paradox. They're bad with her, and somehow even worse without her. It's like being stuck in a lifeboat that's already full of holes. You're going down no matter what. It's just a matter of speed. Head coach Tyler Marsh has tried spinning at impressors, but there's no PR magic that can cover this up. When your offense leans on a player who can't finish from 2 feet away, you're not building a playoff squad. You're building a comedy reel. And no marketing team on earth can flip that into a sneaker empire. And don't forget, Reebok didn't just sign Angel Reese. They made her the centerpiece of their basketball revival. Shaq himself stamped his name on it. The blueprint was obvious. Hype her up, drop a signature shoe, tap into Gen Z's energy.
Feel bad for Angel Reese at this point, and it has nothing to do with like how she's handled herself or anything. It's just simply Caitlin Clark is so much better than Angel Reese at basketball that it doesn't feel fair.
Yeah, I think Angel Reese is struggling with the fact that Caitlin Clark is better at her best thing than she is.
She's better at everything.
And
she had a triple-double. She's tied for the third most triple-doubles in WNBA history, and she's played 50 games.
Yeah.
But here's the fatal flaw. You need real on-court greatness to make that strategy work. This isn't TikTok clout chasing. This is pro basketball. And nobody's rushing to buy sneakers linked to a player who's going viral for airballed layups instead of buckets. What makes this collapse even uglier is the way Reebok leadership sold it. Their CEO, Todd Kinski, actually stood up and compared Angel Reese to legends like Allen Iverson and Shaq, calling her a culture changer. Let's be real, that wasn't just wrong, it was disrespectful. Iverson didn't just influence culture. He redefined swagger while breaking ankles and torching defenses. Shaq was a walking highlight reel, a force of nature nobody could stop. And she's redefining how to turn professional basketball into meme material. If that's changing culture, it's only because she's dragging it into clown show territory. Now those whispers in the sneaker world are growing louder, and they sound like pure regret. Did Reebok even scout her game? Or were they just so desperate for attention that they grabbed the loudest personality they could find? Because right now, this doesn't look like a strategy. It looks like a panic move. And what they got stuck with is a multi-year, multi-million-dollar mistake. That's haunting them every single game.
And Caitlin Clark and her were supposed to face off against each other the other week. The ticket sales went down from $100 to like $5 because Caitlin Clark got injured. She had a quad injury, so she wasn't playing. So guess what? No one wanted to go watch. And if you don't know Caitlin Clark, she's pretty much the GOAT of the WNBA and is the reason why people are watching. No one watches you, Angel Reese. No one watches you. The only thing that I enjoy watching is all the clips on TikTok of you just countlessly just missing.
Here's the irony. Reese's injury came at the perfect time for everyone except Reebok. No, you never celebrate injuries. But let's be honest. Fans and commentators were running out of patience watching her weekly blooper reels. Then suddenly, she disappears from the court. For the first time, Reese finally pulled off a move that made sense, vanishing. But that break came at a brutal cost for Reebok. How do you sell sneakers tied to someone whose signature move is missing bunnies at the rim? That's not marketing fuel. That's sabotage. And don't forget what that injury dodged. A head-to-head matchup against Caitlin Clark's Indiana Fever. It was hyped as a rivalry game, but everyone knew the truth. It would have been Caitlin Clark lighting her up on national TV. Instead of a showdown, Reese stuck the spotlight while Clark just kept rewriting the WNBA record books. One player is out here draining logo threes and breaking records. The other is struggling to survive basic layup drills. Fans see the difference crystal clear, and Reese's absence only made it louder. Caitlin Clark is the real deal, while Reese has become the punchline. Let's zoom out and put on the business hat for a minute, because this isn't just a basketball failure. It's a textbook case of brand misalignment.
It's crunch time, under a minute to go, 1-point game. Y'all know what to do. Give it to our 2K cover. Live 5, go save the day. Here it goes, the crossover for you. It'll turn into hot diggity doo-doo. Burn!
Why don't you show her highlights? You're so unfair.
Fine, here you go. Rebound. Burn! Cherry picking rebounds. Nobody does it better. I mean, nobody. Bang! Bang. Our fans be like, grab that rebound, honey. Yes!
Reebok didn't just sign an athlete. They gambled their entire comeback on someone whose biggest contribution lately has been fueling endless blooper reels. Endorsements live off one thing: aspiration. You buy Jordans because you want to soar. You buy LeBrons because you want dominance. But nobody, and I mean nobody, buys sneakers because they dream of bricking layups. And yet here we are. Angel Reese's inspiration isn't greatness. It's a prayer that maybe, just maybe, the ball finally drops this time. Reebok thought they could spin it by leaning into her bold personality and unapologetic image. Cool. That can sell cosmetics or maybe even a reality show deal. But performance sneakers, the shoes kids lace up believing they'll hoop better. You can't slap a slogan on the box that says guaranteed to miss like Reese. That's not motivation. That's a warning label. And if she were at least hitting on a powerhouse roster, maybe this gamble wouldn't look so humiliating. But the Chicago Sky, they're tailor-made to magnify every single one of Reese's weaknesses, putting her flaws on center stage night after night. No spacing, no rhythm, and a star whose best offensive skill is chasing down her own missed shots. That's the Chicago Sky in a nutshell. A squad that somehow manages to score less, miss more, and still go viral, but only for the wrong reasons.
22 points, 13 rebounds, but she shot terribly. She got bailed out so many times, throwing up brick layups, getting phantom foul calls from the refs. She did make 10 of 11 free throws, so that is good. 6 of 16 from the floor is not good at all. 0 of 1 from 3. She was a minus 11. Listen, man, Kiki.
And then there's Coach Tyler Marsh. Imagine finally landing your first head coaching job, only to be told, here's your franchise cornerstone. Good luck. A player who can't finish at the rim, makes bad reads, and trends online for lowlights instead of highlights. That's not coaching. That's crisis management with a clipboard. And the krillest twist, When Reese sat out with her injury, the Sky actually looked functional. Sure, they were still losing, but at least the offense had a pulse. At least it resembled something you'd expect in a professional league. Without re-bricking every other possession, Chicago stopped looking like a traveling circus act. That fact alone says it all. Meanwhile, Reese's game film has become the internet's favorite running joke. Every botch put back, every clank bunny gets remixed with circus horns, slow motion zooms, and comedy sound effects. Whole TikTok accounts are dedicated to her bloopers, racking up millions of views. Not because people are inspired, but because they can't look away from a mess. She isn't producing basketball content anymore. She's producing meme content. And somehow Reebok thought this was the face of their revival campaign. That's the fatal flaw. When your only marketable value is being a punchline, the clock is ticking. Social media eats its clowns alive. One day you're trending. The next day you're tossed aside, forgotten like yesterday's meme. And here's the brutal truth. Once the internet finds a new clown to mock, Angel Reese's blooper fame vanishes overnight. Then what's left? A sneaker tied to an athlete who never had the game to justify the hype. That's not influence. That's quicksand. Which brings us straight to Reebok's so-called grand plan.
In June, she earned her All-Star selection. But these aren't just a couple of bad plays. These aren't bloopers. These aren't rare moments. This is the norm. The same thing happened last week when the Chicago Bravado got their ass kicked by the Minnesota Linkers. I don't have to convince you that Angel Reese has no impact on winning. Just look at her record. Look at her resume.
The Angel Reese signature shoe. Except right now it's looking less like a celebration and more like a boardroom panic party, with balloons taped to the wall. Sure, the teasers look flashy. The campaign is loud. But no marketing team on earth can Photoshop her bricks into buckets. That's like Ferrari unveiling a supercar with a driver who doesn't know how to shift gears. The disconnect is so glaring it borders on parody. Stop playing. Everybody sees it. Inside the sneaker world, the whispers are heating up. Some insiders claim Reebok might quietly pivot, try brand or kicks as lifestyle shoes instead of performance sneakers. Translation: we never meant for these to touch a basketball court anyway. Others are betting the company delays the drop, praying she magically fixes her game in time. But here's the reality. This isn't a slump. It's a pattern. And you can't build an empire on a shaky foundation. Confidence is missing. Credibility is missing. And Reebok is about to learn the hard way what happens when you build on sand. The nuclear option: kill the launch, shove the shoe, and hope no one notices. But that's the problem. The internet never forgets. Every airball, every blocked layup by smaller players, every meme is permanently archived. Years from now, when someone Googles Angel Reese signature shoe, they won't see ads or sneaker reviews. They'll see blooper reels and clown edits. And the only headline left will be, what were they thinking?
Inside, and Washington has done that incredibly well so far. Reese missed the first one, still with it locked.
We go through All-Star break. We come back, 9 turnovers. We sit out with a back injury. We come back, can't make a fundamentally sound layup. Maybe they rushed you back from injury. Tyler Marsh, did you rush her back from injury, Tyler Marsh?
Shaquille O'Neal's name was supposed to add credibility to this whole deal, but instead it's dragging his legacy through the mud. Remember, Shaq was one of the most dominant big men to ever touch the hardwood, breaking backboards, rewriting record books, and even carving out his own sneaker lane with affordable kicks that actually sold. So, how did we get here? How did the same Shaq co-sign a player who's now known more for blooper reels than basketball dominance? The truth is, Shaq's stamp of approval was the centerpiece of Reebok's comeback. His word carried weight. If Shaq says Angel Reese is the one, maybe fans would believe it. But now, the gamble looks reckless. Every missed layup, every viral clown edit doesn't just haunt Reese, it stains Shaq, too. The man who once stood for power and unstoppable force is now linked to one of the weakest brand alignments in modern sports. Industry chatter is already ruthless. Insiders are calling it Shaq's biggest L since Chasm. The comparison is everywhere. One was a movie flop. The other is a sneaker flop. Only difference, the chasm jokes eventually faded. These blooper reels are permanent, living online forever. And here's the kicker. This isn't just a bad endorsement. It's a credibility crisis. If Shaq could misread the moment this badly, how much trust should fans or Reebok put in his eye for talent? Legends are supposed to elevate a brand, not sync with it. Now, the whole thing looks like desperation from top to bottom. Reebok wanted Iverson swagger and Shaq's dominance back in the spotlight. Instead, they ended up with memes, missed layups, and a partnership nobody takes seriously. And for Shaq, his reputation as a business mogul just took a hit he never saw coming. The fans aren't buying it. Literally, social media isn't filled with sneaker hype. It's filled with clown edits and blooper montages. Instead of kids begging their parents for the new Angel Reese signature shoe, they're laughing at TikToks of her missing 4 straight layups in 12 seconds. That's not sneaker culture. That's a marketing nightmare. And here's the problem Reebok can't ignore. Sneaker endorsements live and die by credibility. Michael Jordan had to be like Mike. Kobe had the Mamba mentality. Caitlin Clark is already creating her own legacy by shattering attendance records. But what's Angel Reese's tagline? Pray the layup goes in. That doesn't sell shoes. It sells punchlines. Industry analysts are already whispering that pre-orders look weak. Stores aren't confident. And sneakerheads, the same people who line up for Jordans at 4 a.m., are clowning the entire campaign. Some fans are even calling it the first performance shoe designed for missing, a joke that's spreading faster than any Reebok promo. And don't forget, once sneaker credibility is gone, it's almost impossible to recover. Ask Adidas after the Derrick Rose injuries, or in one after their street ball hype died. The market is brutal. If Reese's kicks flop out of gate, Reebok isn't just losing money. They're burning their comeback before it even starts. Meanwhile, the fan base is speaking loud and clear. They're watching Caitlin Clark drop logo threes. They're watching Sophie Cunningham win fans with pure grit. And then they look at Reese, who's trending not for dominance, but for circus reels. One sells out arenas. The other can't even sell her own hype. And when fans don't believe in the face of your sneaker line, the shoe is dead before it hits the shelf. Reebok's comeback isn't looking like a revival anymore. It's looking like a clearance rack waiting to happen. This entire partnership has turned into a giant warning sign for every brand executive in sports marketing. A living, breathing case study in what happens when you confuse viral attention with actual marketable talent. Sure, Angel Reese trends, but so do car crashes. That doesn't mean you rename the freeway after them. At this point, Reebok's gamble with Reese isn't just failing. It's becoming a tragic comedy. The fans aren't laughing. Investors aren't laughing. And somewhere out there, a poor Reebok intern is stuck doom scrolling through thousands of hate comments wishing they had picked literally anyone else. The moral here is simple. If you're going to build your brand around a player, make sure she can do the basics, like finish a layup. Because if she can't, you're not selling dreams of greatness. You're selling bloopers. And no sneaker, no matter how flashy the design, can outrun a reputation built on bricks. And here's the kicker. Reputations last longer than any shoe release. Years from now, people won't remember the slick ads or the hashtags. They'll remember the circus edits, the memes, and the brutal clips that defined this campaign. That's a legacy Reebok just bought into. So now we leave it to you. Do you think this was the worst sneaker deal since New Coke? Or can Reebok somehow salvage this disaster before it destroys their comeback for good? If you agree this was a bad deal for Reebok, drop in the comments. Fire the baby giraffe. Don't forget to like, subscribe, share, and turn on all notifications so you never miss out.